what's up YouTube? Tyrex here. I am doing a Tiny the Science Guy stream right now where we are going to be conducting science experiments in addition to watching some science, TikToks, YouTube shorts, and reels sent to me by my moderators on Twitch. As always, I really appreciate you guys being here. If you like this kind of thing, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment what your favorite random science fact is. And if you want to catch me live, type into your search bar twitch.tv/Ty_Rex, or you can click the link down in the description below. Let's get into it. Here's this.
Latest image that's been released from the James Webb Space Telescope of Uranus. As a planetary scientist, I can tell you that this is my favorite image released from JWST in 2023.
Bro, same though. It's so cool.
The polar ice cap, mini storm.
Polar ice cap on a gas giant? I didn't know that existed. That's so cool.
You see even more of the moons, where we actually have...
Gotta love space.
Image, all the photobombing galaxies.
Yeah, look at the little galaxies. Oh, that's so fucking cool. That's so cool.
And information since the Voyager flyby in the 1980s.
I forget that Uranus has rings.
For JWST in 2024, including objects in our own solar system, inner solar system to beyond the ice giants, not to mention all the planets around other stars, galaxies, and star-forming regions.
God, I can't wait for all of the things that we discover with JWST. Like, we did that. We as humans, like, we took this giant-ass telescope, folded it up on itself, shot it into space, shot it way out into orbit, and now it's looking at all sorts of stuff. Like, that is just so cool. Humans are great. We suck sometimes, but we're also really cool. Next one. Ooh, anatomy quiz. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Which of the following is found in the lower right-hand abdominal quadrant?
Appendix.
That's the appendix.
E.
The inguinal canal is found where?
In the hip.
That's near the hip.
I was like,
Water
hip.
absorption happens predominantly in which of the following organs?
The small intestine. The spleen. No, it's the small intestine.
The outer portion of the kidney is known as what?
The cortex.
That's the cortex.
Woo!
You fall off.
I fucking killed it, man. It's not like I went to med school or anything. When he said the hip, that just like threw me off. It's just not a word that I would use to describe the inguinal canal. That's just whatever. You know, I get that like most people know it as the hip, but whatever. I'm not even gonna get into it. Ooh.
Is on a direct collision course with Earth.
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Difficult to imagine what it would have been like to be a dinosaur on the surface that day.
Imagine.
Hours after the chaos of the initial impact, debris and dust thrown up by the collision combined with soot and ash from wildfires.
I'm like fascinated by this, but it also makes me so fucking sad.
It begins to rain, not water, but bullets of rock.
Imagine.
Experience.
In an asteroid impact, the molten rock vaporizes to form a gas. That gas
That's crazy.
expands to form a plume, and inside the plume, that gas condenses, solidifies, and cools. And
Rains rock.
that then rain down on the surrounding environment.
Dude, that's crazy.
Sparrows were found about
That's so
300 miles
cool.
away from the Universe. It's
Oh my
amazing
God.
to think that these tiny
I want to
sparrows
hold
can
those. I want some of those.
intense
I want
fire.
those. I want a handful of those. I bet they cost so much money. That's so cool though. Imagine getting rock rain down on you and you're just like a dinosaur. Like you got like a little chicken brain and you're just like, holy shit, what the fuck? That's what I'd be saying. We're doing a quiz again? Okay.
The human body, questions get harder each round.
Okay, well, let's do
Which
it.
forearm bone is found on your thumb side?
The radius. Radical thumb. That's what I always taught my students. Radical thumb.
That's the radius. How many cervical vertebrae are found in the
7. 7.
That's 7. The talocrural joint is known as what type of joint?
I think it's a hinge.
That's a hinge joint.
Yeah.
Ribs 11 and 12 are known as what?
Floating. They're not attached to anything in the front.
Those are floating ribs.
Woo.
Gerdy's tubercle, which is found on the tibia, serves as an attachment for which of the following?
I've never heard of Gertie's tubercle.
That's the IT band.
Oh shit.
Fall off more.
Gertie's? Give me the scientific name. I don't know what the Gertie's tubercle is. Now we're gonna have to look it up. Oh god. Okay. Gertie's tubercle. I have literally never learned that in med school. Nobody told me about that thing. It's a smooth facet on the lateral aspect of the upper part of the tibia, just below the knee joint, and adjacent to the proximal tibiofibular joint, where the iliotibial tract runs down the outside part of the thigh. It's a point of insertion for the IT band. The fuck? Who didn't teach me that? Maybe I did in like my first year of med school, but that shit is long gone. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was so loud. Lord help me. Why do ladybirds have spot? Hold up. Ladybirds? Australia, we gotta have a talk. Is that what Australia's called? Ladybugs? That is a bug. That's not a bird. That, like, I don't even care if that's shorthand for something. What the fuck
Spots serve a couple of fascinating purposes. Firstly, they're a great example of what's called aposematic coloration. This is a fancy way of saying, I look bold and bright, so think twice before eating these.
Yeah.
These spots signal to predators that they might not taste good or could even be poisonous.
Yeah.
It's like wearing a bright warning outfit in the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
Secondly, the number and pattern of these spots can vary among species.
I love
and even
them.
individuals, making them a bit
I
like
love
nature's
ladybugs.
They help ladybirds identify one another.
Ladybirds.
They play a role in attracting mates. So the spots are not just pretty, they're a combination of a warning sign and a personal ID card. You might say it's nature's way of blending fashion and function.
Y'all, I'm gonna need you to drop in the comments right fucking now. What do you call ladybugs? Do you call them ladybirds? Am I high? Like, that sounds so weird. There's no way. There's no way. If you, what? Everybody put in chat, put in the freaking comments. I'm so flustered right now. Put in the comments what you call ladybugs. And if you call them ladybirds, I'm gonna have to ban you. Okay, moving on. Here we go.
Why are we and many other galaxies getting pulled toward one mysterious spot in the cosmos? Well, a lot of scientists theorize that the Great Attractor could be a huge cluster of galaxies throwing the coolest party in the cosmos.
I want to be there.
Galaxies get together. They create a gravitational pull stronger than your grandma's
Yee.
famous chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, I fucking love
Because each
cookies.
galaxy is so massive, the total gravitational force exerted by a cluster of galaxies can be enormous.
Yee.
Einstein proposed that mass and energy warp the fabric of space-time itself, creating what we perceive as gravity. Each galaxy is a massive collection of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter,
Yee.
each part of which warps space-time according to its mass and energy. A galaxy cluster, being composed of many galaxies, is therefore a significant source of mass and energy, so it creates a substantial warp in space-time. This warp
I love
occurs
gravitational
as
lensing photos. If you've ever seen them, they're so fucking cool.
space, so it can draw other galaxies towards the cluster. So it's kind of like the Milky Way, and its neighboring galaxies are rolling steadily along this curve of space-time, just like cosmic bars, gradually drawn towards the gravitational valley at its center, the Great Attractor.
I love it. I love it so much. I'm not gonna lie. There are some phenomenal photos of gravitational lensing, and it has like this really like, it's like an elliptical galaxy or some like really big galaxy that's in the foreground. And then the light rays from an object behind it actually get bent around it and then go straight again. It is the coolest shit ever. And sometimes you'll see the object behind the big one that you're like, there's a front object. You're right here. Here's the object, and here's the object that gets lensed. So this is like a galaxy that's like closer to you that's lensing something behind. You can actually sometimes see the image in multiple different places on the edge of the lens because the light is being split around the galaxy. So fucking cool to think about.
What is time?
Math
We can
is
talk about
drag
time in the
queens?
physical sense, as the sequence of existence and events that progresses from the past through the present and into the future. Or in the psychological sense, as in our personal observance of passing time. But today, we're going to talk about it in the mathematical sense, the way that we as humans have learned to measure time and use it to regulate our lives. For most of human history, the idea of time as we understand it today didn't really exist. Measurement of time began with the invention of sundials in Egypt about 4,000 years ago. The sun was pretty much the only way to measure time until the invention of mechanical timepieces in 13th century
I want
Europe.
all of my science and
Clocks
math
and the
to be
idea of
taught to me
measuring
by a
time
drag queen. This is
splitting a day into
fantastic.
equal standardized chunks. So why did we split the day into 24 chunks? There's no cosmic or practical reason. It's just the number we picked. Our 24-hour day probably comes from Egypt. They would split the day into 10 groups, plus one dawn hour and one dusk hour, and then do the same for nighttime. So our days are 24 big chunks. Why did we split those into 60? We have the ancient Babylonians to thank for that. They believed that year was 360 days plus 5 festival days. In order to split the year in a convenient way, they used a base 60 system for their numbers. They're the reason there's 60 minutes in an hour and 360 degrees in a circle. You know what this means?
Interessante.
We could have had metric time. 100 seconds in a minute, 100 minutes in an hour, 10 hours in a day.
That would have been
But
nice.
no, we're all still stuck with 24s and 60s. And at least Americans are used to it. Over
Yeah.
the next several centuries after
Our mouth
mechanical clocks
sucks.
were introduced, advancements in technology made them more accurate. There was water power, then spring-driven, then the pendulum clock, then the electric clock, patented in 1840. We take for granted that the
Electric
time
clock
of
in
day is the
1840?
same
That seems
wherever
really
you go.
early.
That's actually only been the case
Wow.
for a little over a century, made possible by these advances. Eventually, electric clocks were replaced by quartz clocks. Finally, in the 1940s, the atomic clock was invented.
That's
Atomic
so
clocks work by
cool.
exposing electrons to certain frequencies of radiation,
Ugh.
which cause them to jump back and forth between energy states. We can measure these jumps with insane precision.
That's so
In fact,
cool.
we currently define 1 second as 9 billion and change, this many, jumps between states of a cesium atom.
Wow.
That's all the time we have for today.
Oh my God, I want to learn math and science from drag queens exclusively from now on, if I can formally request that. I love that. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, Lego science sets. We're just gonna have to maximize this one because, God, light mode is cancer. Okay, Lego science sets. This is loud as fuck. Hang on, go back, bitch. Nuh-uh, those don't exist. Do those exist? Do these exist? No, they don't. No, they don't. Oh, wait, no, they're not real. They're not real. If they were, I would die. They said, wait, they're not real. Someone needs to take a Lego about these. So, okay. Look at that Tifer. Look at that science set. Dude, this is missed opportunity. I will buy. I don't care if those things are $120 each. I will buy each one of them and just I am $30,000 in credit card debt. Credit card debt. Holy shit. I need that. Lego my ego. Lego for real. Make that. Oh, what the fuck is this? If I had that in my house, I would kiss it good morning every morning. Just forehead kisses. Oh my God.
This is a replica of a little dinosaur called Heterodontosaurus, which has a really big name for a dinosaur, for a very small dinosaur at that.
Oh, I love it.
And I brought this out for a couple of different reasons. One, because Heterodontosaurus and its relatives are very different from a lot of the other dinosaurs. Most dinosaurs have pretty much the exact same shaped teeth all throughout their entire mouth. Heterodontosaurus, as the name suggests,
hetero meaning different and dont meaning tooth.
meaning different, dont meaning tooth, and saurus meaning reptile or lizard, has very different teeth throughout the mouth. So it's got these very large fang-like canines at the front of the mouth, little peg-like teeth at the very tip of the mouth, and then much blunter teeth further back.
Oh, it's like mammalian almost.
Unlike a lot of the other dinosaurs. I also brought this out just to show that not all dinosaurs are big. This
He's
is
just
a full-grown
small.
individual of this particular kind of plant-eating dinosaur. It just shows that some of the dinosaurs were not big at all. The fossil record doesn't often show us fossils of little dinosaurs like this because their bones are more easily destroyed during the burial process.
That makes sense.
The fossilization process. But just like today, if you think about how many small animals are out there, how many mice are running around compared to how many deer, for example.
There's still a lot of deer.
Small animals easily outnumber the big ones in almost any ecosystem. So the same was probably true of dinosaurs as well. There were probably many more small dinosaurs running around than big ones, but the big ones fossilized better, so we have that sort of biased perspective of what they show up like in the fossil.
Interesting. Heterodontosaurus. That's really, really, really cool. I was thinking about this the other night. Imagine how many dinosaurs and just extinct organisms that we can't even fathom existed. They're just not present in the fossil record. Like, this is my question. I don't want to know exactly like how it works in paleontology. When you think about like plate tectonics and there's one plate going underneath another, think about all of the fossils that are being lost when that plate goes under. I don't know if it just gets like liquefied. I know that it kind of goes under and then into the mantle, but how much information you lose and how many creatures existed. Shit that keeps Ty up at night. It is so cool. All right, science experiments.
All right, mate. This
All right,
is
mate.
liquid nitrogen. So I'll pour it into this cup here like this. Nice. Looking good, looking chilly.
I like it.
Mate, have you got that balloon that I asked you to blow up earlier? Huh?
No.
You know, the balloon
Oh.
that I asked you to blow up earlier.
Oh, you mean this little fella?
Yeah, I do. Nice. Now, you used your breath to blow this up, right?
Yep.
Nice. So that's a really bad smelling gas.
Who says that?
Who says that?
It's a bad smelling gas that I'm going to turn into a liquid.
No, you're not.
I am, mate. So the balloon goes into the liquid nitrogen. Now, what's going to happen is the balloon's going to start to get smaller and smaller and smaller.
It's very cold.
Until the balloon has completely shrunk down to size. Look at that. But that's not the cool.
Ooh.
Can you see that little bit of liquid there?
Oh,
That's
gross.
your breath, pal.
That's
the cool bit.
Yeah, we're all waiting for the cool bit.
All right, well, the longer we leave it out of the liquid nitrogen, the balloon gets bigger
Oh, hello.
and bigger
Hello.
hello.
Mr. Darcy.
until the balloon is at full size once more. Yeah, pretty cool. In
Thinking
order
of
to
liquefied breath though.
dip your balloons into liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. If you stick anything into liquid nitrogen, you are going to be very sorry, and the ER doc is going to be very disappointed in you. But it's thinking of liquefied breath. I know it's mostly CO2 and oxygen and nitrogen, but at the same time, like I just think of like stinky breath liquid. Cordyceps, fucking wild little fun guy. It's not a very fun guy, am I right? A zombie bug apocalypse is real. cordyceps. It invades to take control of the body. Wild. An elongated fruit body called an asocarp will then spring forth to release the spores. That is the fungi that is on The Last of Us. They postulate that the fungi mutated because the problem with fungi growing inside of a human body is that the human body's internal temperature is too high, but there was a mutation that The Last of Us allowed the fungus to exist inside of a host. And The Last of Us 30 volts. Oh, Lord, what's going to happen?
Volts, so like a firm I am. I'm going to let, and then just open your hand up and pull it a couple inches away.
Turning my man's into a hero. I don't know how that works. The person's not dead. Well, this is from members of my community. Why microwaving grapes? Visit site. Oh, there we go. Okay. Microwaving grapes.
If you take a grape and cut it almost completely in half and put it in the microwave, you can make some plasma.
Mmm.
Oh, yeah, it's still going.
You don't
He is
need
so
to cut
stoked
the
about
grapes in
that.
half. 2 grapes placed side by side will make this effect work, as long as they stay in contact.
Huh.
Now, with the very strong electromagnetic fields at the intersection of the 2 grapes, what you can get is some sparks, some breakdown of air. That is, the electric fields are strong enough that they ionize the air, creating those sparks, and that is what leads to the plasma. It creates these ions, which can then receive more.
Why does it have to be
energy
grapes,
from
though?
the
Why can't it be something else?
You can see it here, pulsing at 120 hertz. That's twice the 60 hertz frequency of mains power, which reflects the fact that the amplitude of the microwaves is pulsing twice every cycle.
Yeah, why does it have to be grapes, though? I feel like it could be something else, you know? All right, guys, that's that for Ty-Nye, the science guy. I really appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment your favorite science fact. And also, if you call them ladybirds, that was the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Again, if you want to catch me on Twitch, click the link down below. I'll see you guys next time.